Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Dave Capote and I'm a film and digital photographer from Austin, Texas. And today, as you saw in that B-roll sequence, I shot my first roll of black and white film. It was Ilford HP5 shot on the Mamiya 7, and I compared it with the medium format digital camera that I have, the GFX-50R. I put the black and white film simulation on, and I did like an X-pan aspect ratio just because I like the way that looks. I know it's not exactly the same sensor size and it's not going to yield the same results, but I think that it just kind of called for the X-pan aspect ratio. I think it's 24:65 or something close in that range. Don't quote me on that, but here we'll bring up the first photo, and it was just of this like old grocery like building that's just boarded up, super grungy, wood for the doors, like just plywood everywhere, and the sign is like barely hanging on. And so I shot this roll with Ilford HP5, like I said, and comparing it to the Mamiya 7, or comparing it to the GFX-50R actually, I just like the way that the contrast looked. I tried to like keep it pretty level, so I actually developed, this is my first roll of film ever developed. I bought a monobath from Cinestill, and this is my first roll of black and white ever shot, so it's kind of a first for everything, but I tried to keep the develop times, the temperature, the scan. I kept everything like very neutral and just wanted to see what the results look like kind of right off the bat. And same with the GFX-50R, like I just put the black and white film simulation on there and didn't really touch anything. And I love the contrast, like the way that this photo makes me feel and the way that it looks, it just screams like moody black and white, and that's just really what I was looking for. If you look at the GFX-50R photo for a second, it's just too clean. I mean, it's a great camera. I shot it in that aspect ratio that made it more cinematic looking, but it's really just too pristine. It doesn't have any character. I mean, I love the way that the GFX-50R renders color photos, but with black and white, like the contrast level and just, I mean, the grain and just the way that it felt, like these photos just look better to me as film photos. And I mean, right now, like with film, everybody's kind of trying to replicate those looks, and I don't think that it always really calls for it. Like, sure, it looks great all the time. Like if you shoot overexposed portrait 400, like you're gonna yield great results and you're gonna look like everybody else. But sometimes like the digital photos will look better just depending on how you shoot them and what the colors look like. But this film stock, compared to the film simulation of Fujifilm, just flat out of the box, I mean, I just like the way, personally, I like the way that it looks. If you go to the next photo, like this sign, I mean, I left as much dust and little particles and stuff on the film, but there's just something about it. Like I've never shot black and white before. Actually, I have. For all my wedding like photography, my clients like to have black and whites because it's the timeless look, you know, that it'll never like go out of style and stuff like that. So I always throw in some black and whites, but I have presets that I've made and I just kind of slap them on there and they look good, whatever. But the way that texture comes out in black and white is just kind of unmatched, if you ask me. Like the film photos on black and white just give it a nostalgic feel and look that digital just can't replicate. I drove down the road a little bit. This is all like in the Lake Travis area, if you're familiar with Austin. And I drove down and I kind of just stopped next to this like power plant and found this gate and this hill with the tire tracks that were just going up the hill and kind of like leading lines going up to the top. I wish that there was like a building or somebody standing up there, but you know, you can't get lucky every time. But the way that how grungy and like the medium format depth that my Mamiya 7 got, even at f4, like this is at f4, and I mean, it just looks amazing. Like, I can't help but like, these photos, especially in black and white, they just make you feel differently than if it was in color. Like, even the clip that was in color from my X-T4, like, it didn't have the same dramatic effect that these photos do, just in black and white. And comparatively to the GFX, the 50R that I did that X-Pan Pano, again, it just kind of looks flat to me. I mean, I know that I can add contrast and do whatever, but there's just more character and more life in this film stock. And then even if me trying to replicate it, I don't think that I could. And so I kind of just fell in love with, I mean, I still love color film. Like, you're not gonna catch me not shooting Portra or Ektar or Kodachrome, or not Kodachrome, Ektachrome or anything like that. But, you know, if it's a crappy day out, and even if it's a bright day out, you know, I might throw a roll or two in of Ilford and just kind of shoot it because of the way that it makes you feel. I mean, I'm a firm believer that the way that you edit photos, or the way that your film stock turns out the photos, they can make a person feel like how you're trying to make them feel. And that's the whole point of photography. Like, you're showing somebody how you saw something through your lens or through your eyes, and how you interpret it is the art of it. So if you want to throw like darkness and moodiness and like just straight like grunge into a photo, black and white is how you're gonna do it. I mean, you can boost the contrast of color photo, but if it's a bright sunny day and you're boosting contrast, you're not gonna get the same feeling as if you're, you know, seeing just dark black contrast. I just spit all over myself. Dark black contrast, and it's just, I mean, even right here with this photo, I mean, this metal siding of a roof, and it was just decrepit and rusty. And even though you don't see that color, that orange bright rust, you could still tell that this building is old and it's seen crap, you know? And it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm getting too far into like the art of photography, but I don't know, it's just, these photos made me feel something that I don't normally feel with color photography. Like, I love moody photos, and I will make my photos moody in color, but this like just brought out this gloomy day more than any color photography could have. And so, I mean, they aren't the greatest photos. Like I said, I shot 10 shots. I developed my first roll. I shot my first roll black and white. I just wanted to see how it came out. And by no means is this my favorite roll of film or favorite frames that I've ever shot. But now that I've seen this, I know that I could see myself shooting more and more black and white. And I'm gonna do another video where I kind of compare my GFX-50R and my Mamiya 7 and just kind of do like a little shootout. And I don't know if you guys would want to see it. I mean, I'm kind of just making these videos for myself right now, but I think that I'm going to do like a stacked up against each other, like Mamiya 7 GFX-50R, Portra 400 versus, you know, some of the edits that I've made with my 50R, and kind of see where I lie with if I want to change the ratio of me shooting film versus me shooting digital again. Because right now I would say that I'm like 90% film, 10% digital, and that 10% is my work. It's not, I'm not taking my X-T4, my GFX-50R like out on photo walks. I'm taking my Mamiya 7, my RZ67, or my Nikon F3 out with me, and I'm like shooting as much film as possible. But I don't think that I'm really giving my GFX-50R a chance. I've never shot landscapes with it, and it's an amazing landscape camera. I think the problem is that the only lens that I own right now is the 110, which is an 85mm focal length, and that's not a landscape focal length, that's a portrait focal length. So I find myself grabbing the Mamiya 7 with an 80mm all the time because that's like a 50 equivalent, and that's kind of like what I started shooting out as. I have a 65 lens for the Mamiya, but I'm always with the 80 because it's just so damn sharp. So yeah, hopefully let me know if you guys really would want to see a shootout. I mean, I'm sure that there's other videos on YouTube. I'm gonna do it for myself because, like I said, I'm making these videos for myself. Like at the time of this video, I have 39 subscribers. So obviously some people are watching these videos for the GFX-50R because it's new at the time. Not new, but more people are starting to get it. And so I think that's what my audience is right now. But I really want to figure out, I want to start dwindling my camera collection into things that I really want, because I have way too many cameras. My girlfriend gets mad at me all the time, and because I'm just getting more and more cameras. So I want to start minimizing my choices so that I can just grab and go and shoot. So yeah, thank you guys very much. This is kind of like a super, I don't actually know how much time this video is, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to. I'm going to be making more videos on the Mamiya 7 and the GFX-50R, more about some film photography. I'm just going to kind of try to make whatever videos I really want to. I'm not going to say that I'm a film channel. I'm not going to say that I'm a digital channel. I'm going to say that I'm a me channel. So hopefully you guys respect that and enjoy it. And thanks again. And I hope I will make a new video soon. See ya.